We move to Minneapolis now for another high-profile trial we're watching closely. The federal trial of the three former officers, Tou Thao, Thomas Lane, and J. Alexander King. All three are charged with violating George Floyd's civil rights by failing to give him medical aid while he was handcuffed and face down with now convicted murderer Derek Chauvin's knee on his neck. King and Thao are also charged with failing to intervene. Still with us is former prosecutor Leslie Ricard-Chambers. Leslie, the lieutenant in charge of the homicide unit of the Minneapolis Police Department, testified today about the department's policy regarding an officer's duty to intervene. Now, the defense has pointed out that Derek Chauvin was the most senior officer on the scene and argued that the others were trained to obey him. Lane and King were rookies, and Thao had about 8 years under his belt. But Lieutenant Richard Zimmerman testified that rank and seniority doesn't change the duty to intervene, that everyone wears the same badge, so that means they all had a duty, but that none of the officers on the scene lived up to that duty. Now, it's important to note that he's also a witness that testified in Chauvin's state trial. How damaging is this testimony for King and Thao, both of whom are charged with failing to intervene?
It's very damaging, Yodit. And truth and honesty, you don't really see a lot of or hear about a lot of police departments bringing in that element into court when the actions of officers are being challenged, particularly as police department in the country has a duty to intervene policy. With that being said, Zimmerman is right. It does not matter that Chauvin was the most senior officer on the scene that day. As a matter of fact, he's not absolved of having his consciousness checked, if you will, and that's what the duty to intervene does, regardless of rank, regardless of seniority, regardless of who's been out there the longest. That duty to intervene is a call to the consciousness of the officer to certainly rely on the training. And had Chauvin relied on the actual training, that maneuver that he did on George Floyd, had he done it correctly, George Floyd is likely to still be with us today.
Now, prosecutors showed video from Lane's body camera today. And it's video that wasn't made public before. It shows Lieutenant Zimmerman arriving on scene, and King and Lane are telling him, things that occurred that day. They told him about, George Floyd being difficult to put into their unit. Told him that he might have been on something, but they failed to tell Zimmerman that Floyd was kept on the ground, that they didn't roll him over, about Chauvin's knee to his neck, about them being unable to find a pulse, or about Lane performing CPR in the ambulance. What do you make of that testimony, that they failed to say these things? Could it be because it was a guilty conscience, or was it just an oversight on their part?
No, it was absolutely a guilty conscience, and it's a set of facts that didn't play or bode well for them and for the officers on the scene. So why share those very inconvenient facts? And we're talking about the reason why that these officers are in federal court is because they failed to intervene. And so they knew that when Zimmerman got out there, that was going to be a part of their reporting requirements, that they would have to lean in on that training, on those policies, on that particular policy at least. They knew that they failed to do so. So, of course, they're not going to mention those very inconvenient facts, because at that point they shifted from a duty to preserve the life of the citizen to the duty to protect the reputation and the posture of the police officers who were on the scene, and particularly Chauvin.
All right, Leslie Ricard-Chambers, thank you so much for your time and expertise tonight. Appreciate you, sister.